Hey there guys, welcome back. So in the previous recap, Red and Rit finally confessed their feelings for each other with a sweet kiss. But a new medicine that was approved by the guild caused quite a stir in the town because of its addictiveness, and also it creates an artificial blessing in the consumers and make them go crazy. So Red and Rit devised a plan to bring out the perpetrators, and the one who was creating and smuggling the medicine in the town was one of the thieves guild members, Big Hawk, however. Despite the fact that he was possessed by a demon, Red's plan was successful, and they apprehended the demon and Albert. However, after everything appeared to be back to normal, and Red and Rit were once again enjoying their lives, that goat demon and Albert escaped from the prison. But as the story goes on for Red and Rit, boring days return as they have no customers in the winter, so Rit comes up with an idea to make hand warmer. Red goes along with that and made the hand warmers. Everyone likes that and pretty much sold out nicely around the town. Well, marketing for hand warmer had gone nicely, but he sold out everything. But their Rit got him covered as she saved one hand warmer for them. It was a nice and cold night, perfect for romantic situation, and there at a bench Red and Rit drifted away in each other's warmth. But for that demon goat and Albert who escaped, they came across Rudy and her party. They were captured and Rudy got her hands on that medicine, and there that goat explains about it. This medicine creates an artificial blessing inside the consumers and weakens their original blessing. Rudy's blessing made her emotionless. So she wanted to have this medicine so she could have emotions again. Goat Demon told her that a man in Zoltan got imprisoned for creating devil's blessing. So to get more of this medicine, Rudy took only Tissy to get to Zoltan. There she wanted to conceal her hero identity and told Tissy to refer to her as a fellow traveling companion. Then at night Red was having a meal with one of his friend at a stall, and there Tissy got there while she was scouting the area, and just by looking at her Red sensed all of Tissy's hidden weapons. It was a sign that she is formidable, and as for Tissy, she also judged Red to be someone really powerful because he sensed her power and weapons despite concealment. She told this to Rudy. But they want to avoid running into Red because their goal is to get their hands on the alchemist who made this medicine. But he was being held in prison after causing a stir in the town with this medicine, so at night, Tissy and Rudy created a distraction in the jail and broke into the cell where Godwin was being held. They broke Godwin out and placed him in a secluded location. Then in the morning, Tissy and Rudy only needed a few herbs and ingredients to make the devil's blessing, so they got to Red's apothecary. For that, and finally, Rudy was reunited with her big brother. So after settling down, Rudy asked Red to rejoin the party, but Red had made up his mind that he wants to stay here with Rit and run this shop. So hearing this, Rudy decided to move here with him. And their Rit came in. After that, Rudy told them about the reason she came here was to find a person and also to find Red. And now that she found him, Rudy then takes her leave for now. So Rudy and Tissy started lending a hand at Red's shop, but her scary vibes scared all the customers away. So Red took her to show her around town, and there he showed her the sauna. And her vibes even scared Zeph there. She looked more formidable than Red, so people around him started teasing him because he was the older sibling. After that they had a nice dinner, and then Rudy suddenly asked Red to have a bath with her. They had grown past that age, so Red had to decline, so she took Rit and Tissy. There Red asked Rudy about Red's childhood, and there she opens up about her past. Rudy has the blessing of hero, so she goes off on her own to save a child even though she was a 5-year-old kid herself. She stood up to fight that owl bear, but after getting hit her life got in danger, but Gideon arrived and killed the bear and saved her life, even though she had the blessing of a hero. Gideon was always by her side to protect her always. Rudy tells them that she doesn't enjoy anything or feel anything, she could only remember how it used to feel. And she could only hang on to the feeling she once felt in her past, and for that Rudy always envied Rit. She was getting closer to Red and she couldn't even feel or do anything. Tissy realized that only Red could save Rudy from her darkness. Rudy was broken, so Rit told Red about Rudy's changes, so Tissy then told them about their purpose to visit Zoltan. Rit was concerned if Rudy had developed an addiction to the devil's blessing, but Red told her that she should be fine as long as her own blessing is still powerful for the time being. Rudy was keeping Godwin at Elven Ruins, so Red wanted to have a talk with him, but before that, Tissy wanted to stop by the port to get an ingredient that Godwin requires. So Red takes the job of shopping around port, so Tissy and Rit left to get to Elven Ruins where Rudy is keeping Godwin, but at Port Ares, Fyodora and Albert arrived in search of Rudy. Ares left to find an inn to stay, and there Red met Danon, so Fyodora and Albert concealed themselves to hear their conversation. Danon wanted to know why he left and Red went with what Ares had made up about him. Danon doesn't believe that Red was a deadweight, even though he lacks combat. Red makes up for it as the best strategist, and he acknowledged that Red was pleased about it but still wants to stay in this town, and after that was over. Red told Danon about Rudi and that she's staying in this town, but Danon only understand fighting and nothing more. Meanwhile, Ares found a nice inn, but another Danon met him there. And he told him about Red and what he's up to, so Ares got angry that Red is having a nice life with a royalty and more, so he's planning to marry the princess. There Ares asked Danon to take him to Red's shop. Danon leads the way, and Ares started showing his jealousy by destroying his shop and home, but the real Danon was actually with Red. And his right arm was bested by an Azura demon Sasandon. He was supposed to be dead, but he was still alive and kicking, and there a dragon flew over them. Normally no one in Zoltan has the power to summon a dragon, and also that summoner was heading towards ruin, so Red gets into full speed to follow it, and up ahead he met Rit and Tissae. Red told her about Danon, and Rit apologized for not telling him that she had already met Danon, but because he didn't want to intrude on Red's life, Danon had told her to keep their meeting a secret. Red didn't mind that, but Rit didn't notice anything different about that Danon, so Red told her that the Danon he met had his right hand severed, indicating that the one she saw was a fraud. So Red used physical enhancement to arrive at the ruins before anyone else, and inside he met Godwyn again, but he wasn't opening his mouth to call out Rudi. So Red forced Godwyn to scream to call her out, and Red told her that he knows everything about the thing she was hiding. And Rudi was worried that Red would begin to hate her for saving a criminal. She wanted to stop being a hero and make her own decisions in her life, and Red understood what she was going through and was even working on a remedy to weaken the effect of her blessing. But it was still incomplete, and then Tissae and Rit arrived, but Red was worried because Godwyn wants to have demon heart to create devil's blessing. So Rudi confirmed it because the goat demon she caught also told her the same thing. Rudi told them that after using the devil's blessing she developed a nameless blessing which doesn't have any class, so according to Godwyn something like nameless blessing is impossible. But since it's there inside Rudi without any effect, it would be safe to assume that it won't be a problem, but their play guys got in, and if anyone attacks it, the spellcaster will know where they are, but Rudi destroyed them anyway and went after the spellcaster and saw that it was Ares. Ares had gone crazy about Rudi and wanted her to continue their journey to beat the Demon King, but Rudi made it clear that she's dropping out from being a hero. Ares couldn't take it and thought Red had influenced her, so he blew him away, and that was it for Ares as Rudi stabbed him in anger but still gave him a chance to leave her alone. She takes Red and left, but then Sasandon appeared and offers Ares that there's a relic of the first hero in the ruins. If he helps him find that relic, he could get Rudi back on his side. Sasandon leads the way and Red mare up with others, and Tissae senses that he's with someone, and it could very well be Sasandon, so everyone goes to follow up Ares, and they're even Danon, Fyodora, and Albert arrive to join in the fun, but Danon goes in first leaving Fyodora and Albert behind and runs into Ares and Sasandon. Even with one hand Danon was pushing Sasandon into a corner. But because of Ares Danon was hit by a sword, and that sword made an explosion in him. Sasandon then leads Ares to the lower chamber to retrieve the blades of the first hero. And by giving it to Rudi her blessing of hero will be enhanced, and she will once again become an emotionless hero who craves to save the world, but they're red and everyone came in to stop them. And Rudi overpowered them with her sword wind. But their Fyodora and Albert saved Danon, and hearing the fight she broke through all of the floors to get there, but she is sided with Ares on this one. Her dragon got rid under him and Fyodora was holding of Rudi because she also thinks that the world needs a hero to save them from the Demon King. But their Rit was in danger and Red rushed in to save her, and getting this golden chance Ares destroy the elevator they were in. And seeing them fall, Rudi lost her cool and she and Sasandon broke the floor with their own fight. Ares was overjoyed that he had finally killed Red, but unfortunately for him, Danon was right beneath them. He used his martial arts technique to create a force powerful enough to push them back up, and this time Red didn't spare Ares. And Rudi was going toe to toe with Sasandon even though her own sword was broken. She forced Sasandon to drop one of his swords, and there Rudi picked up the first hero's sword, and now she has lost all emotion and has gone numb. She ruthlessly killed Sasandon into peace and gets back at the top floor. There she attacks Red, but Tissae saved him, or else when Rudi comes back to her senses. This could have become a lifetime regret. It was clear that something was wrong, so Red holds her off. He tries to bring her back to her senses, but his sword wasn't able to hold out. So Red used his bronze sword to unarm her and bring her back, and that brought them real peace, and Rudi settled down in Zoltan with Red and Rit, and started her new life as an adventurer in Zoltan.
And then at night Red and Rit took the next step in their relationship.
And that brings our anime to an end, but subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates on new anime recaps.